Shalom. I want to start off by saying Kal Hala Yamla, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem Rekakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us the truth and who rule well. Peace and citations unto the Akim that is spread around the four corners of the earth, spreading this word in sincerity and in truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect. I'm the brother Quarters of Zion from the GMS Holland branch, coming back through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai with another lesson, with another video. Lord willing, this video is edifying. So in this video, I want to go into the fact that celebrating birthdays is highly satanic. Celebrating birthdays is satanic, man. So this is the Satanic Bible from Anton Zonder LaVey, and it reads, this is a part of that book, which it reads, back in 1969, Anton LaVey wrote the Satanic Bible. On page 96, in the 1976 version, it mentions birthdays. The highest of all holidays in the Satanic religion is the date of one's own birth. This is in direct contradiction of the Holy of Holy Days of the other religions, which defy a particular power, particular God, who has been created in anthropomorphic form of their own image, thereby showing that the ego is not really buried. The Satanist feels, why not really be honest? And if you are going to create a God in your image, why not create that God as yourself? Every man is a God if he chooses to recognize himself as one. So the Satanist celebrates his own birthday as the most important holiday of the year. After all, aren't you happier about the fact that you were born than you are about the birth of someone you have never even met? Or for that matter, aside from religious holidays, why pay higher tribute to the birthday of a president or to a date in history than we do to the day we were brought into the greatest of all worlds? So celebrating your own birthday, that's the most highest satanic holiday that they have. So going on, despite the fact that some of us may not have been wanted, or at least were not particularly planned, we're glad, even if no one else is, that we're here. You should give yourself a pat on the back, buy yourself whatever you want, treat yourself like the king or god that you are, and generally celebrate your birthday with as much pomp and ceremony as possible. After one's own birthday, the two major satanic holidays are Walpurgis Night and Halloween, or Hallows Eve. Yeah, man, so the rest is note it is on page 53 of an online version I found also. And reading the last part, it is interesting that birthdays are considered the most important holiday to these Satan worshippers. The founding of their church, called Walpurgis Night and Halloween, are the other ones of importance to them. The Bible never encourages the celebration of birthdays. Instead, it tends to speak in a negative way about it. So the rest I can read because I don't have a Facebook. So, yeah, man, let's dive into this, what the Bible says about birthdays, because you have two encounters of birthdays, which the first one was the Pharaoh in Genesis 40, verse 20. And mind you, it's the Pharaoh that was having a celebration or ceremony. So that's not an Israelite, because Israelite is somebody that is a so-called Black Latino or Native American nowadays. So this is Genesis 40 verse 20, and it reads, "And it came to pass the third day, which was Pharaoh's birthday, that he made a feast unto all his servants, and he lifted up the head of the chief butler and of the chief baker among his servants." So this is what the heathens were doing, because the Pharaoh, what is a Pharaoh? A Pharaoh is an Egyptian king, you see. So they were the ones that were celebrating their own birthday, so they were participating in this satanic act. But they didn't have the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, because the law, statutes, and commandments weren't given unto them. They are the other nations. They are the heathens, you see. And another encounter of a birthday was in Matthew 14, verse 6. "But when Herod's birthday was kept, the daughter of Herodias danced before them and pleased Herod." See, so this was also an instance where this Edomite, Herod, which is an Edomite, he was celebrating his birthday. And an Edomite is also not an Israelite, so he is also not in the congregation. He's not a so-called Black, Latino, or Native American man nowadays, as we would call him nowadays. So these were the two encounters where, if you look upon birthday, then these are the two encounters you find. Let me see if I can find more. See, the last one is in Mark 6, verse 21, which is the same as Matthew 14 and 6. Mark 6 and 21. "And when a convenient day was come, that Herod on his birthday made a supper to his lords, high captains, and chief estates of Galilee." You see? So now let's go to an Israelite, what he did when he was encountered with the feasting and celebrating of birthdays. This is Job 1, verse 4 and 5. And it reads, "And his sons went and feasted in their houses, every one his day," which that word his day, it means their birthday. They were celebrating the day of their birth. Just like how when you were in the world annually, you would have a feast of your birthday. But when is your birthday? The day that you are born. You're only born once, so you only need to celebrate it once. You see? So that's when a child is born. People come, they bring gifts, and they celebrate with the father and the mother, especially the father, because the mother, she's probably weak and laying in bed. But yeah, man. So let's read on. "Everyone his day, and sent and called for their 3 sisters to eat and to drink with them. And it was so, when the days of their feasting were gone about, that Job sent and sanctified them, and rose up early in the morning, and offered burnt offerings according to the number of them all. For Job said, It may be that my sons have sinned, and cursed Yahweh in their heart. Thus did Job continually." So every time that they would celebrate their birthday, Job would send up burnt offerings to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and sanctify them. Because that's a satanic day, we just read about it. So it's a day that you sin against the Most High if you do that. You see? So that's not supposed to be done within our nation. Let's go to Job 20. Let's see how Job felt about his birthday. Nice. So like, yes, Job 3. Verse 3 until 19. Let's see how Job feels about his birthday. Job 3 verse 2. And Job spake and said, let the day perish wherein I was born, and the night in which it was said, there is a man-child conceived. Let that day be darkness, let not the Most High regard it from above, neither let the light shine upon it. Let darkness and the shadow of death stain it. Let a cloud dwell upon it. Let the blackness of the day terrify it. As for that day, let darkness siege upon it. Let it not be joined unto the days of the year. Let it not come into the number of the months. Lo, let that night be solitary. Let no joyful voice come therein. Let them curse it that curse the day let them curse it that curse the day, who are ready to raise up their mourning. Let the stars of the twilight thereof be dark. Let it look for light, but have none. Neither let it see the dawning of the day, because it shut not up the doors of my mother's womb, nor hid sorrow from mine eyes. Why died I not from the womb? Why did I not give up the ghost when I came out of the belly? Why did the knees prevent me, or why the breast that I should suck? For now should I have lain still and been quiet, I should have slept. Then had I been at rest with kings and counselors of the earth, which build desolate places for themselves, or with princes that have gold, who fill their houses with silver, or as hidden untimely birth, I had not been as infants which never saw light. There the wicked cease from troubling, and there the weary be at rest. There the prisoners rest together, they hear not the voice of the oppressor. The small and great are there, and the servant is free from his master. You see, so Job, he wasn't really happy about the day that he was born. He actually said it's a day that should be cursed. That's why we at Great Millstone, if it would be that we know on which day we were born, and in this world they call it a birthday, but we in Great Millstone, we call it a curse day. Because, that day, that the day that you were born, that's when the sorrowing started. That's when the grievousness started. Because you are born, you're born as a child, you have fun times, you start learning things. But when you become a man, that's when you see like shit, this place is not a happy place. This place is only grief and sorrow, and a vexation of spirit. You see? So that's why we call it our curse day. You don't call it our birthday, it's a curse day. Just as how Job called it a day that is cursed. You see? That he should have died in the womb. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah. Jeremiah 20. Verse 14. And this is to drive it home. Jeremiah 20 verse 14. Cursed be the day wherein I was born. Let not the day wherein my mother bare me be blessed. Let me see. Let me read until 18. Salakia. Verse 15. Cursed be the man who brought tidings to my father, saying, a man-child is born unto thee, making him very glad. Like I was speaking about, your father, he is going to receive the guest, and people are going to bring gifts unto him. Verse 16. And let that man be as the seas, which the Most High overthrew, and repented not. And let him hear the cry in the morning, and the shouting of at noontide, because he slew me not from the womb, or that my mother might have been my grave, and her womb to be always great with me. Wherefore come I forth out of the womb to see labor and sorrow. You see, that's what all we do. That's all we see. We are the prey that departed not. That departed not. You see, the Most High, He put us in a low place. So we are the laborers in this world. We are the people that build this place up. You see, everything is built upon our bones and our strength and our sweat and our blood. You see, so we labor and we sorrow because we work hard and we bring in little, as it says in the book of Haggai. You see? And also it's vexation of spirit to see all this wickedness running rampant. So we ourselves, we are like these prophets, like these men in the Bible that we read of, Jeremiah, Habakkuk, which if you go into that word Habakkuk, which is Habakkuk, which means to complain. You see, all the prophets were complaining, like, how long is this going to endure? Why did I see life? Why did I see light? To see this, I might as well been resting, but we have a purpose on this side. Like the spirit, the scripture says, the spirit of the prophet is subject unto the prophets. You see, we have been called to do this. We have been chosen to do this. Many are called, but few are chosen to do this. You see, some of them come in and they fly high, but then they crash and burn right after. You see, knowing many things, knowing many scriptures and precepts, trying to be amongst the great. You have to do this. This thing is a thing of temperance. You have to you have to restrain yourself. You have to have a constant pace. You have to be diligent. You see, you have to be well balanced, or else you won't endure until the end. You see, like it says in the book of Matthew, he that endureth until the end, the same shall be saved. So you got to pace yourself, man. So yeah, let's go back to the last verse. This is Jeremiah 20, verse 18. Wherefore come I forth out of the womb to see labor and sorrow, that my days should not be consumed with shame. So let me read it again, because it says that my days should be consumed with shame. Yeah, man, so that's all that is in the deepest of our hearts. Because me, myself, since I was born, I feel this how should I say, like all these nations, they hate us. You can just feel it, and we have been brought low. We have been broken down so low that we are scared to fail. We are scared to succeed. So certain times you are scared to just put yourself out there, because people are not going to help you. They're just going to stomp and trample you down, So, yeah, man, sometimes this road that we walk on is a very lonely road. But still, we got to endure, because in the end, you're going to be like Job, Yaratazah, that we are of that number, and that we are going to make it until the end. So you got to put all those heaviness aside and just keep on going. You see? But yeah, man, that was just a quick lesson on how birthdays are satanic, and that we shouldn't be celebrating it, And we from Great Millstone, we call it our curse day. It's not our birthday, but our curse day. Cursed be the day that we started to see light here on this side, when we came out of our mother's womb. But yeah, the spirit of the prophets is subject unto the prophets. So we're here to do the work and the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai until the end. So with that, I hope this video is edifying, and I want to say Kal Ha Yamla Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Reka Kodash Shalom Hakim.